The magic of editing. I'll be able to cut this out. But in reality, I won't because I'm too lazy.
I knew that. That's why I want to start.
Say the show. Just tell them now. It's episode 4 of what? What is this?
9to5 Elon. Welcome to the show.
There you go. Bam. First
Episode 4.
Wait, in the first minute.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it depends. We're recording, but yeah, close to the first minute. This is a show about Tesla and other Elon-related things.
Mm-hmm.
I am wearing
I'm
a special
Tony.
Tesla hat from
My name is Tony.
factory from Tony.
That's Tony. He gave Adam that hat. That's Adam.
Yep.
I'm Asif.
And you just delivered it to him in what country?
Japan. That's Japan.
Can you see Japan back there?
No, they can't.
No.
But believe us, that's Japan.
It's like the moon landing. It's just some field in Arizona.
It's actually just Sharpie. I just drew that on a whiteboard. That's actually a whiteboard, Tony.
That's really impressive. You got some deep blacks in Japan.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
fancy markers.
We don't have a whole lot of time because we were running late at dinner, getting some curry.
Yeah, and I have to catch the last train.
And forgot to get the last train yesterday.
Yes.
So yeah, let's enough of the small talk. No one gives a shit.
Yeah. So to start it all off, Elon was in China at this point a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago, but I felt like we should lead off with this, Tony, because did you happen to catch that Jack Ma and
I did
talk about AI?
I did catch it, and then I recaught the highlights of it as well. It was pretty strange.
It was the funniest thing because it was like watching someone who had this like severe case of cognitive dissonance and then like this very woke entrepreneur, who was like, you know what? In actuality, everything Jack Ma is saying is wrong. So it was just like really funny because you would go from like Elon or Jack Ma would be like, oh yeah, AI is not a problem. AI, you could never create something smarter than a human. And then Elon goes like, your smartphone could probably beat a chess champion.
And I was like, I've got 3 examples just off the top of my head.
Yeah. That was pretty outstanding. If you folks missed that, I recommend watching it because holy crap. And Jack
kind of cringy, like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
And also like what's going on has been going on in Hong Kong for weeks or months at this point. Which is like an anti-AI movement, an anti-facial recognition movement. And then you have a party member, the former head of Alibaba, right?
Yeah.
Well, he even mentioned he's using AI to look for bad people or whatever. Didn't he specifically say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's I forget the businessman's name, but there's a fellow that left China that has been making all kinds of comments about Jack Ma is going to be offed by the Chinese government. There's all kinds of strange information out there about loss of businessmen and some other things. And basically anyone that speaks out against the government has been either silenced or
made poor.
Yes.
Yeah, because, he's a billionaire, so he wants to maintain his wealth. And I think that saying things like AI is not going to be a problem is something that the Communist Party probably told him to say. So it was like really funny seeing someone who's, has the candor of Elon with someone who is like basically is a Communist Party puppet.
Well, it's not like that. He was saying like we'll only have to work 3 days a week, 4 hours a day. So it's kind of like, oh heaven. If you work really hard right now, soon enough you won't have to work hard at all. It's gonna be great. But keep working real hard right now.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, it was pretty strange. A lot of strange political motivations and everything he was saying.
Yeah,
that was weird. It was really a weird, disjointed talk. And I remember when I heard about it, I was like, this is going to be bad. And then it did not disappoint. It was like really funny. And I think that, I don't know why Elon, I guess Elon just wants to talk about AI. And he like wants to be on the right side of that, in history. But yeah, Jack Ma really seems like a puppet. And I don't really understand. I don't get how people become billionaires in China. It just seems really weird. But yeah. So we wanted to hit that first. Tony, I don't know if you saw, there was some more crappy Volkswagen news. Actually, not just Volkswagen. The Department of Justice is looking to investigate BMW, Ford, and Honda and Volkswagen. This was really weird because they agreed to California emission standards.
Yeah.
And the U.S. government, the federal government, apparently has more relaxed standards in California, and they were upset.
Now they do, at least.
Yeah, with Trump.
Yeah.
So they were upset that people like these companies like worked together to improve their fuel efficiency. So they're investigating them for antitrust.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's a weird one. That was a real.
It doesn't seem like the strongest case to bring against them. Like, there's plenty of other things I think you could bring, but
That just seemed like another.
it's
one.
interesting.
That was like an old man yelling at the cloud story, but yeah, we saw that.
Yeah. Well, Volkswagen also got in trouble for faking their fuel efficiency numbers using software
again.
Yeah.
Just
well, they agreed to pay, I think, $95 or $96 million or something like that to customers.
Yeah, and this block of the show is really becoming a part where we just crap all over Volkswagen. Right?
We can't help it. Stop being in the news.
Move into
Taycan. So this is a perfect segue to just crapping all over the Taycan, or the Taycan, or the Toucan Sam.
I think it's
Taycan,
but I'm not positive. Tony,
I've gone from one extreme to the other on this car.
Twitter community about this.
Wait, you've gone from one extreme to the other. What do you mean?
I have. So, there's first I really despised all these people out there that were like, guys, it's an EV. We all got to work together. We got to sing Kumbaya. Don't worry. This is great because it's the first real compelling electric vehicle that's super luxury that will compete with the S, and that's going to be better for the market because they get more interest. And if you look at the retweets by the Volkswagen Group bots, there's a lot of them out there retweeting these tweets about how the Taycan is going to be as good as the S, and it's really good for the environment and all this other nonsense. But the truth is, most of what funded the Taycan was stipulations in the settlement when they got caught for Dieselgate 1.
That's right.
Yeah.
So to say that in all these reviews, here's my unbiased review of the S versus the Taycan. The SB is 7 years old now. The P100D beats it in every way. Maybe not in this launch and overheating thing, if that's really true. We're going to have to see how it does in this Nuremberg trial that they're going to do in 2 weeks. But in every other statistic, the car dominates it, especially in range.
Yeah. Nuremberg trials. Yes. Good.
Yeah. Time trials. The Nuremberg time trials.
Yeah, but did you see, okay, fine. And you know what? I've always been on that side, Tony. And that's why you'll notice I don't frequently tweet shitty things about Taycan or i8 or Leafs or Bolts or any other EVs. I love all EVs. You're all part of the revolution.
No, the Volt's pretty good.
Yeah, but
or the Bolt, I mean. Yeah.
Where it did bother me was seeing people calling it a Tesla killer, and it's just but
that was only the media outlets. I think there's
it was only every media outlet.
It was only every AV media outlet.
Yeah, I mean,
it was Tesla short,
and every Tesla.
Well, yeah, and Tesla short too.
But yeah, that's where I was like, hold on a second here. And there was some. I think Marquez Brownlee, he tweeted out a really good side-by-side comparison of
He
the.
did. He actually did a great follow-up video that I watched yesterday, and I liked everything about it. But I tweeted at him. I was like, "Listen, you brought up all this great stuff. You got to bring up the fact, though, that this car is funded by the fact that they cheated, that they are killing the environment. They lied to us about diesel being clean. It's all marketing nonsense. And now because you're giving it the benefit of the doubt, you're just becoming a part of that marketing machine." That's why most of my tweets about it are negative, because I feel like they're not good guys. These execs are just fat cats out to make a buck. They don't care about anything. So it's just marketing to say like, oh yeah, Volkswagen's totally part of the green revolution. Guys, remember in the 70s when our commercials had songs about anti-government songs, and we all like did Woodstock together and smoked weed in our Volkswagen vans? Yeah, okay, that happened in the 70s, sure. It has nothing to do with Volkswagen as a brand. It just happened to be the brand that the counterculture liked.
Well, the Taycan.
They're just trying to leverage that.
It's a really inefficient EV.
That's the thing that and
it's like the super expensive, ridiculous vehicle where people are like, "Oh yeah, if I just buy this, I'm helping the environment." And I'm like, really?
That's where I'm like,
probably not.
Like, how can you call this a Tesla killer when the base model is 150K and the base model of a Model 3 is what, 35K, 38K?
I want to know the payback period on the CO2 going into making that thing.
Yeah. It's comedy. It's a lot of comedy. For calling it a turbo.
Actually, they want you to replace your Tesla with a less efficient EV. In that case, it's not better for the environment. I guess if you have like something that gets like 1 mile a gallon and you're replacing that maybe over a certain number of years.
Yeah, but I'm not like, I'm sure there's people out there who are very loyal to Porsche that wouldn't buy an electric vehicle if it wasn't a Porsche.
No.
So I think that this, in that sense, it's good.
And it gets people talking about EVs.
Exactly.
And if people are like, oh, Porsche's doing it.
Exactly.
Then this must be where everything's headed.
Yeah, like maybe we're going to see a really crappy Ferrari EV down the road. You know, like maybe we'll see other, like, I don't know, a Lambo or something. But I think the idea that there can be supercars that are EVs, you know who proved this? Elon fucking Musk with the Roadster. Like, they talk about the Roadster.
7 years ago, they proved it. In fact, you know, in all these drag racing strips in the southeast, they're all Teslas are outlawed now, because anyone could just go buy a stock P100D with ludicrous mode and just annihilate guys that have spent 15 years modding their drag racing cars.
Yeah.
And these things come out and win all the cash every weekend in the challenges.
Yep.
They're outlawed like everywhere now. There's very few tracks now that even let them race. Tesla Racing Channel, a bunch of guys in North Carolina that take their car everywhere. It's just a stock, and they use it as like a platform to talk to people about the cars, to get people to understand the brand. It's pretty great. But it's hilarious to see them like stomp these guys that have been putting all this time into like gaining a couple extra horsepower, saving on weight, like making all these changes to the technology. It's like, here's this amazing electric thing that just rolled off the factory line. It's just stomps everything. It's been stomping it for years.
Yeah.
To the point where they're like, no more. You can't take all our money anymore because we've been working on these ICE cars. This is an ICE car only league. We're really sorry. You're not allowed in anymore. So.
But yeah, we had to crap on Volkswagen and the Taycan for a little bit. And yeah, that whole turbo thing. That's not a turbo, you guys. Turbos are gas powered. They should know that. Like, even Elon had to tweet it.
Here, I got to read one tweet. Just one tweet. I follow a guy named Clark Dennis M, who basically hypes everything that is not Tesla that's electric, right? He just talks crap. I don't know if he's a short, but he's on the fence. But I really like some of the stuff that he says. And he had a great post yesterday. He said, it's laughable to think that Tesla owners debunked the Taycan on the following. No FSD, no fart mode, no summon, no games, no Easter eggs, no ECT, but I think he meant ETC.
Yeah.
And then he says, just goes to show, 1, you've never owned a Porsche. 2, never driven a Porsche. 3, never sat in a Porsche. 4, don't have a clue what Porsche is about.
Regarding
I think
I
this
can't
tweet perfectly sums up the people that are going to buy the Porsche.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
Like,
getting at. Is that there are Porsche snobs out there who will only buy this. It's like the i8 people. They bought an i8 because they thought the BMW brand was better than the Tesla brand. And then we all know how that turned out. That car is a piece of crap.
Yeah, their sales are slumping.
On the outside. Yeah,
it was well designed on the outside.
If you ignore the doors and the getting in and out.
Yeah, getting in and out. We went over that in the last episode.
It's also a hybrid. It's not even an electric vehicle. Don't talk about
it's not a good
the
car.
But what I'm getting at is the
cool.
only reason that they even sold one of those was the brand loyalty.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's what's going on.
The marketing. The marketing. You just got to put in a Tom Cruise movie, and everybody's going to want to get one.
I guess. But yeah, so I don't know. Let's not waste more time talking about this car.
Yeah, let's move
but
on.
Yeah, you got your Sharpie?
Yeah.
You want to mark up some maps?
What?
You want to pour some out? Do we have any hand sanitizer to pour out for Alabama? I know they had a rough week.
Alabama?
Tony has clearly not been paying attention. The president of the United States has been doctoring National Weather Service maps for about.
Oh yeah, yeah. I stole that meme, the dartboard with the darts all around the dartboard, and he drew the circles by hand out and around to make it look like they were bullseyes. I've been stealing that meme, and I wrote ice makers at the top of it, and I've been posting that.
There's a lot of good ones. There's one where he has an outline to make his hands look bigger.
Yep. Now, there have been some solid memes out there. I just wanted to mention it real quick that the president's an idiot. I feel like this part of our show, we should crap on Volkswagen a little. We should crap on the president a little bit.
So as in all the weather emergencies, Tesla gives away free supercharging at the supercharger stations to help people get out of town.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. But they didn't do it in Alabama.
Yeah, they didn't do it in Alabama.
No, there were all these shorts that were posting. I was trying to confirm the story with people down there because everyone was saying all the superchargers are broken. All the superchargers are broken on the entire route out of town. It was free charging, but then it broke, and now none of them, you can't charge your car in any of them. And a million people were posting this. I'm like, where is this story coming from? And I looked it was all made up, but so many people retweeted it.
It's probably because a lot of the gas stations were running out of gas, a large percentage. And they had to make it look like EVs are worse than that.
It's that FUD, man. They love that stuff.
No, it was 100% shorts and bots retweeting the entire Tesla charger network on the southeast coast getting away from the hurricane was broken. I think there was one or two stalls. A legit owner was like, these 2 stalls are down. 2 stalls out of thousands of stalls.
I mean, put yourself in David Einhorn's shoes, Tony. You're short Tesla. And you're underwater on this short. Do you press and then just buy a bunch of bots that spread misinformation on Twitter?
I think you do.
I think that's probably the move.
He's certainly got enough people supporting him and holding the same position. So it's
So I think that's we're seeing a little bit of that going on here, where the shorts they're trying to press their bet. And we were going to talk about this later in the show, but I kind of want to mention it now. Stock's not really going down. There's they keep trying, and it just seems like. It seems to be finding a base right around here at this 227, 225 area. And as someone who owns it at around 230, I want to buy more, but I don't want to. I want to lower my basis.
Yeah,
I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to. I think the stock is kind of finding a base. And there was some news that made me kind of think that was going to continue. I guess we're jumping ahead a little bit, that the China tax exemption.
Yeah, 10% tax exemption.
Yeah, for existing Teslas in that country or being sold into that country. That's pretty great. The stock did jump on that news, but then I'm sure Trump said something stupid and the market sold off again.
Yeah, there were also pictures of the China-made battery packs.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have seen there's news out of China, and like going back to shorts spreading misinformation. How many pictures of dirt in China have you seen, Tony? Where they're like, they haven't even broke ground on the factory.
Just a swamp.
It's a swamp.
Dude. This is swamp. The cranes are fake. They photoshopped the cranes.
Yep. There's like so much.
Those are my favorite.
About that.
Yeah, there's a couple good Twitters that update you constantly, like basically daily on the progress. It's pretty excellent. Just fan people that are like, love the fact that there's so much short lies out there about the Shanghai factory, but yeah, it's pretty great. I still wonder what kind of dealings had to be done to get that deal made, and now all these tax incentives that they're going to get over there, and
yeah,
like I get a Model 3 for under $30K in China. That's like outrageous to me, but I mean, it's great.
You probably had to agree to go talk with Jack Ma in front of a bunch of people about AI.
Well, and based on the thing I read, Jack Ma was probably like, yeah, I'll do some public appearances because I don't want to disappear. I'll do whatever you want in front of a camera.
Wow.
I honestly think the incentive is on the part of the Chinese. Their air is such shit over there that they see electric vehicles as one of the major ways to save their country.
Well, and all the solar and wind and water stuff they've done has been pretty crazy.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like
they're advances.
They're
rated like the lowest ever.
They're investing in the clean energy infrastructure, but a huge part of that is the electric vehicle. And
they have like 100-some thousand electric buses, I think.
Yeah,
it's some huge number.
So no, it's crazy that China probably in 5 years will be further ahead of the United States in alternative energy, but it's probably going to be the case because they can invest.
You're saying Trump isn't going to invest in clean energy?
I'm saying Trump isn't going to invest in clean energy.
Why do you think we have the cleanest air in the world ever? It's ever been.
He thinks that
even before the Industrial Revolution, the air was worse.
That's true. That's not true.
We got to go back real fast because there was a bit of news that we skipped over, and it was Volkswagen related. So Volkswagen Auto Group's most profitable center is Audi, the brand Audi, right?
Sure.
So their ex-CEO was charged with like actual fraud. So he had been detained, and now they're bringing additional charges against him for tampering with witnesses. I mean, this seems like an outstanding bunch of people at the top running this wonderful company. I just wanted to point that last thing out.
Okay.
The shorts are always talking about fraud.
Yeah, they talk about Elon committing fraud.
That's funny. I don't see any charges brought against him. That's so weird.
Oh, actually, happy anniversary, Elon, to that. It's been a year since you smoked weed on Joe Rogan's show. So congratulations, Elon. That drove people insane.
They still bring it up in articles.
All the time. I just saw an article today about it. And I was like, oh my God.
Probably the person that wrote the article smoking a blunt while writing it.
I was like,
shame on Elon.
I was on Shack News, because I own that site, and I was on the forum, the chatty, which you guys don't. But I was on the LOL page, and we have this thing called Ever Funny. You can click on it, and it tells you if anyone had ever lulled your post, because we have this whole tagging system. You guys don't.
I know that.
But it was, I noticed that I was posting a lot of those Elon smoking memes, and I was like, oh, it was a year ago today that he was on the Joe Rogan Experience, and everyone lost their shit. I guess the closest thing to fraud Elon ever came near was that the funding confirmed tweet.
Yeah, the 420
fraud. That was just a really bad tweet. But yeah, no, the idea that I've heard that word.
Going private.
Yeah, I've heard that. Oh, I know, and there's qualifiers in there and everything. But like, he shouldn't have tweeted that. But that wasn't fraud. What is going on at Volkswagen very much so is, and like you said, what was the story of the week from Volkswagen that the media was talking about? It was the Taycan, not the fraud. And I think
look at this new electric vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. You were talking about, I think it was last week or the week or last episode of the week, the episode before, how Volkswagen, they must have really good SEO people or something. Because they just keep putting out stories to push the other bad stuff down.
They are. Their marketing team's amazing. The stuff they've gotten just pushed to the very bottom of the list
And
on a
they,
daily basis. I mean, the worst possible news is like recalls, dangerous stuff going on with the vehicles that people should know about. Instead, it's like, ooh, look at this EV we came out with. It's not even as good as a 7-year-old Model S. Everybody, check it out. It's going to kill Tesla. Like, what? How do you even get that at the
they
top?
figured out if they have all their gates come out in quick succession, people get confused and assume it's all the same thing.
Yeah,
That's,
Yeah, it's a Trump technique.
that is true.
Overwhelm the system with information.
But yeah, happy anniversary, Elon. I hope you spark one up tonight. And then yeah, there's some Starlink news too, right?
oh, did you see that, Tony? SpaceX announced that they're gonna try to expedite getting Starlink covering the whole U.S. So
Yeah,
that
they're probably sick and tired of paying for AT&T fees on all these million cars they got in the fleet now.
yeah, well, they were also
Unlimited
saying
data.
that,
They're going to be a huge cost savings once it's up.
have the southern U.S. covered before the next hurricane season. Is their hope? Because it'd probably be useful in those types of situations. So that's cool. And they said they could even possibly get more coverage with like 50% fewer satellasers. Something significant.
Yeah. I don't know if it
You
makes
could use it.
I could really use
You
it in
could
Canada.
really use it.
My potato
Yeah.
internet. Like
Yeah,
Tony,
my
you
parents
witnessed
do.
it.
They live in the middle of nowhere.
It's pretty rough.
You
It's
guys-
pretty rough. I know why The Office exists now, because
you witnessed how slow my home internet is.
it's unacceptable. I don't even know how you've ever Twitch streamed anything from your house.
I didn't. I did like
You've
once.
done some. Yeah, you've done a couple times.
I remember
but-
I did a Celeste stream, and it was like 10,000 dropped frames in like a few hours, and
Yeah.
I was like, this is the
We
worst.
just gotta do
Yeah.
turn-based RPGs and
I guess so. Or I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
No timing based anything.
but yeah, I could use some Starlink. So hopefully you cover Northeast Ohio too, Elon. But yeah, let's move on to Tesla news, because like, fuck Volkswagen.
yes.
It was time for this shit.
The truck.
The truck. We're getting the reveal.
Yeah.
Of November. Elon
So excited.
confirmed.
Probably November.
Yeah, Elon standard time. So it'll be like November 30th,
2020.
11:59 p.m. and 59 seconds.
Yeah, well, it was
Pacific.
originally supposed to be in the summer, right?
Yeah.
And then it got pushed.
Well, like, isn't the lead?
May
Is the designer still there? Franz is still there.
he's still
Okay.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And if you notice, they updated the truck digital model
yeah.
in the traffic flow.
Mhm.
I posted on Twitter, I think that's just going to keep getting more and more accurate until it is exactly a replica of what the truck's going to look like. So if you need the design cues, you can just look at the truck that's in the version 20 whatever.
I saw
Or 30, excuse me, 30.1, I think.
I saw that cross
32
traffic no
got one.
longer is like a sliding vehicle.
Yeah.
Woo!
Well, that's in the EAP, Early Access Program.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm in
They
the
show
area.
oncoming traffic and
Yeah.
it
Oncoming
looks
traffic
nice.
oncoming traffic is a welcome addition.
They should make it maybe a different
Yeah.
color.
oncoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. Like make it like maybe a I don't know what color.
Just a
Bright
dark,
red, salmon pink.
maybe a lighter color or lighter gray and then darker gray or I don't know, something.
That's I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
it would be-
As we debate the design choices
yeah, whatever they want. Do
of the three.
just better visualization is good.
Yeah.
I think that's like Tony. You've taken people on 4,000 test drives in the past month, but like that's the thing that is most off-putting, I think, to people when they
this
see it.
well, it's dancing.
Yeah, they're like when you're
Yeah.
when you're stopped and all the cars are like. Boop, 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 boop.
It's broken.
Also, when I pull into my garage and it thinks there's a freaking semi in front of me, I'm like,
I like that though. That's kind of cool.
That's
like-
just defensive driving.
I'm like, that's a wall.
It's imagining the future when you have a Tesla semi in order to deliver all the esports equipment
Oh good
Yeah.
god.
from your house. You can just point the truck wherever you need to end up. So
I want to buy a semi for Shaq News.
you gotta have one of everything.
Yeah.
I don't have a 3. I drove a 3. I haven't. We haven't been on the podcast since then.
That's good.
I know.
I drove.
Once again, because of me.
Yeah. What?
What,
Because
pushing you to do it.
well, oh yeah, you did tell me to do it. We were
true.
on FaceTime with Adam.
That is true. We should have just streamed that and made that the podcast for the week, but
Yeah.
Well, I recorded it, but the sound didn't work.
Yeah, because Steve Jobs is dead.
wow.
Yeah.
Gosh. Steve.
Yeah, no, you can't capture screen capture FaceTime with audio for some reason. Probably some privacy,
Very annoying.
whatever.
Very frustrating.
But yeah, I drove Tony's Model 3, and now I've driven all but the Roadster 1.0.
Yeah.
And it's a very welcome addition to the Tesla family. It felt like, I kept telling Tony, it felt like an S. It was very similar to my S experience because he had yours is rear wheel drive, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a rear wheel drive S, so it felt very similar in how it handled, but like and how it drove. But like one thing I noticed is like the turning is so much tighter on the 3.
Yeah.
It like really handles well, and that's not even performance or anything. That was just the regular.
It's the cheap one.
Yeah,
My only feature is the long range battery, so yeah, that's the
That's a
cheap
good
one.
feature to have, though.
But I mean, all the components are really the same between the performance and that. So
Yeah, but yeah, it handled very well. Tony drives like a freaking maniac on the streets.
No,
of Kansas.
that's not true. Stop saying that. Your shackers are all over me,
Yeah.
calling me the guy that drives too fast with the YouTube videos and.
Hey, I was in the car with you when you were like, "Let's try autopilot on this street," and I was like, "Oh God!" And then it's like, "Let's go!" And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Autopilot. That's what I was getting at. It's not Tony.
Autopilot can be naughty.
Autopilot is kind of out of control on the streets of Canton. Because it lets you, the FSD beta lets you put it on anywhere. So like he had it on Fulton. It actually drove pretty well on Fulton. You know, the only problem is when you get to a stoplight,
right, or a stop sign, or
it doesn't see the sign or care. So it'll blow through a red light. It'll blow through a stop sign. So I think they need to do something there.
Well, you got to upgrade to FSD. That's what you got to do. They're never going to change that. So,
but no, I thought the car handled extremely well. It felt good. The interior is really nice.
Yeah, it's good. These are really good.
Yeah, it was very comfortable. The thing I did notice, because I've been driving my X mainly, it's very low to the ground.
Yeah.
Like I was like, holy crap, I wasn't used to that. But that also speaks to why it handles so well.
Yeah.
But it's great. I don't need another car. I definitely don't need another Tesla, but
maybe Nintendo goes up enough, you can just get one.
Where would I put it? Yeah,
we could clear some space. We could do it like a tent in the corner of your yard or something. That would work.
The other house you could have.
But the neighbors would love that.
3, because it's an island. Just get 3. You don't need 620 miles on a small island.
Wait,
keep it at the office.
What? I don't need another car. I don't. I really don't.
Or when you visit Texas, just have it there waiting for you.
No.
Well, this is another.
Don't worry, we'll get you one.
Destroying the environment.
No, but what it did make me want. What it did make me want was to buy the Model Y for my dad.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
Like that. That's like an insta buy for me.
It's 7-seater. It's gonna be pretty rocking.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Now I wanted to buy the X for my parents, but they turned around and bought a freaking Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Yeah.
And I basically wanted to throat punch them.
I've had 3 people that I've given test drives in the 3 text me or call me a couple days later and we're like, okay, this thing's really great, but for the price, I need it to fit more stuff. And I'm like, just wait for the 7 then. Just start putting the money aside right now and get the 7 when it comes out.
Yeah.
That's a common complaint. They're like, I love it, and it does have a ton of room for a sedan. But if I'm paying that much, I need way more utility out of it. I think that's
why I think the Model Y can outsell the Model 3.
Yep.
It will for sure.
And that right there is,
especially if they can up the range. Like if they can put the Maxwell batteries with that new Jeff Don battery tech.
The million mile battery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah,
Pretty amazing stuff.
that would be pretty sweet. Yeah, and just even through the regular efficiencies in Tesla innovation, they seem to be adding like 5 miles.
Yeah, well, they
per
might be
year.
able to remove the mirrors, which would add 5% range.
Mhm.
Yep.
Maybe the law will change by then.
Yeah, because I remember the first time they demoed the X, it didn't have mirrors.
Yeah, but maybe by the time the Roadster comes out, because that'll probably come out 2021 or 2022.
Yeah, I'm not losing any sleep over that.
You'll get it one day.
It's like that was basically just
When it's done.
like everyone's like, people like Elon has trouble raising money. I gave him $250,000 sight unseen. Like, here. I just believe in your mission. Have $250,000, and then give me a car someday.
How much did Microsoft give the OpenAI project?
$1 billion.
Yeah, billion.
Kidding. Oh, that's right, $1 billion.
Billion.
A billion with a B.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, Tesla has a funding.
The loan markets are drying up. The recession's coming.
Larry Ellison has no money.
Yeah, Larry Ellison is on the freaking board of directors. He's got he owns all of Lanai. He owns the entire freaking island. That's what I'm saying. Like, Elon's boys with Larry Page and Sergey Brin, like, he could raise $5 billion tomorrow if he had to.
Yeah.
It's like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, just from his personal friends.
Just from his friends. And I don't think people are properly pricing that into the stock. There's this going concern nonsense about it that was, like, valid in the fall of 2012. That was the last time that argument was valid. And then once they shipped the S, it was like, okay, all's clear. They did it.
I mean, even China would probably give them cheap loans for anything going on in China. I mean, they already did it for the factory.
They already did it for the factory. Yeah. And you know what? Look at rates everywhere. They're going down. You know, like the entire rate structure in the world is going down in interest rates, up in value. Even crappy Tesla bonds are going up in value. So, like, I'm not calling them crappy. I'm just saying that's what people call them. But yeah, I just think it's ridiculous. I think it's really absurd that people still consider it a going concern. How many going concerns have 60% revenue growth year over year?
Over $1 billion from FCA.
Yeah. So yeah, that's stuff.
Yeah. And they might get more from other manufacturers. Yeah, but a lot of them won't be able to meet those emission standards in Europe.
I can't roll my eyes enough at that crap where they're like, it's going out of business. The Tesla Q, all those idiots. Sure, like like where I remember I sold my stock earlier in the year after the first quarter report because I was like, crap, they need to raise money.
Yeah, and
I was like, I want to get back in after they raise money, which is exactly what I did. I dodged like a 40 to 70 point decline in the stock, and then I bought it back. Like, I was trading it. I was being tactical. It wasn't that I suddenly became bearish. It was just I saw the numbers. I saw this gap in there, between January and when the Shanghai factory went live. And I was like, they need about, $2 billion, $3 billion, which they raised again.
No, that never happened because they weren't allowed to do it.
Yeah, right.
Fake news.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's so absurd. And then like
bad.
Another thing that the FUD packers, we should call them that.
That's FUD packers.
FUD packers. They were
not that there's anything wrong with
No, not that there's anything
like it.
Fudge.
I don't endorse that one.
Okay, fine. He's so sensitive.
Yeah,
this one.
That's nice.
I'm talking about Tesla Q here.
That's why I like him.
I know, he's adorable.
I was actually thinking that, how you do power rankings for the worst shackers?
Yeah.
We should do power rankings for the worst Qs.
The worst Tesla Qs?
Because some of them are like on point. They're pretty good. And other ones are just absolutely terrible. And their tweets are going to live on in infamy forever once.
I don't know if I want to encourage
focus that much on them.
Yeah. And
bad idea. Forget it.
Yeah. Let's keep that on the Shackcast with Mrs. Elliott. But the one thing that they really globbed onto this week was the Tesla app issue. Did you run into that problem?
Oh, yeah. So I didn't have the problem. When everyone was having it, I never had any issue with the app across 3 different phones.
Were you using Bluetooth, or were you connecting to it through the internet? I mean, you could always use Bluetooth.
Both.
Yeah, but I'm saying there was no problem with using the phone near your car. It's all
No. And that, there was also no issue unlocking. Like as long as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi were enabled,
I
all
believe
three
it
of the
was
phones.
only if you were logged out of the app and you had to log in that there was a problem. And it was only for SE.
Did you try to like turn
for
on
3
your
users.
AC remotely during that period, like away from the car?
That's a good question.
Maybe that
I
wouldn't.
don't remember trying to do that, but I remember when people were starting to have the issue, I tried everything with all three of our phones we have synced to the car.
But boy, did Tesla Q just glob onto that. They were like, this is why these cars suck. And I'm like, they have a freaking card.
Yeah.
You can't escape the hurricane when your phone won't unlock the car. It's like, well, that's why there's a backup card. It's designed to have redundancy.
It's like they thought of that. And like the users who were complaining, I was like, you have a freaking
This
card.
is the same people that are complaining about the lady who put the chip in her hand. Maybe that was smart.
Yeah. They're really good at pouncing. So, like legit Tesla owner club people that tweet something negative, they're really good at globbing onto that and then twisting the story just a little bit and then just letting their bot machine go wild. And
Any company forum, people are going to be complaining about something.
It's the nature of the internet. You don't run to the internet and say, hey, I had a great day. You run to the internet and say, this sucked. It's like...
Yeah.
No, and there was someone that went through like the Porsche forums and found some people complaining about the paint. It's like, if you only look at Tesla for complaints, you're only going to find complaints for Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, so I thought that was a funny little thing that happened. Like, because, like, app server issues happen. Xbox Live was down for, like, most of the day Saturday, But I didn't hear anyone talking about shorting Microsoft.
Bankrupt.
Yeah, Microsoft didn't go bankrupt over the weekend because people couldn't play Gears for 40 minutes. The
car does not require the internet to start.
Yeah, there you go. And I think that's
it.
And that's what you were talking about, that tweak where they're like, oh, but if we say it does, then...
Well, they do it. They do it with everything, 100%.
We can sow that fear, uncertainty, and doubt right in there. Pack it in. I'm going to stick with this. I don't care what he thinks. He's too sensitive. He's like, I'm mean to me and chatty.
That's not a good one.
But yeah, so that was one thing that I noticed that was really dumb that happened between our episodes. Did you see this? I don't think did Tesla Solar Rental launch in between our episodes?
I think it did.
So that's something we should talk about.
Yeah. So they offer 3 things, 50. We talked about it before. Right?
Oh no, it was insurance that launched.
Yes, we didn't talk about insurance.
Insurance launch.
Insurance.
I have yet to run my numbers, but I seriously doubt it's going to be able to beat my current rates because they're real good. And they went down from owning my Volkswagen GTI to owning my brand new Model 3. So
yeah,
I think for people that have like insurance for their home and for many other things and their car.
Yeah.
Multiple cars, it might not be.
Yeah,
but for a lot of people that only have their car insured,
just car. Yeah.
It probably will.
Yeah, like
that is certainly the trend I saw for the people that switched to it when they would list their pricing and what they're paying before. They weren't paying for any like incidental coverage or boats or motorcycles or anything additional. They literally were like, I do renter's insurance and I have a car.
We were talking about how they could use their insurance data that they're going to get to help tweak the autopilot AI. It's interesting, like how insurance is a data collection service, really.
100%.
It's going to be really interesting to see how that affects them as a product company, as a service company. It's like this all-in-one thing is really interesting.
Yeah, and they were talking about how you're going to be able to access your card and everything through the app, the Tesla app.
And it's just another thing. Like, we were talking about last episode, and I think it's been a trend in all of our episodes, that Tesla is a diversified tech company. It's not a car company. And this is just further diversification into insurance. I think it's another revenue stream. I don't think it's going to be a profit generator, but I think it's going to be a revenue generator.
Well, and it's another reason to get a Tesla if you can get cheaper insurance than with other comparable vehicles.
And even if it isn't necessarily always cheaper, it certainly seems easier than like getting...
presumably, you just click when you order your car. Do you want insurance? Yes.
It was
okay.
hilarious when I signed up for my insurance when I got my Model S. It was like it was like they were talking to an alien. They're like, "What? What
Does
model?"
it have a VIN number?
Yeah,
Like, yes, it's a car. It's a vehicle.
but then like I remember I had to take it in to get my inspection sticker, and they're like, "There's no engine." Like it was just.
Do you need an emissions check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to do an emissions check in Texas for the
That's
model.
awesome.
It was ridiculous. I had to
Yeah.
do it every year. I'm like, there's no freaking emissions. Yeah, so they were, and when you get the new car, the license plate says 0 emissions on the back, like the little paper one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got that, Tony. But yeah.
No, not in Cincinnati.
So like when I pulled into the, I think it was like a Firestone or something. I just like pointed at it. I'm like,
yeah,
there's no engine. But yeah, it's like it's crazy how far we've come in like 7 years. Where people now know what the Tesla brand is and they know what electric vehicles are. Versus like, I think it was Progressive at the time. They were like, whoop. They didn't know how to price it, and they were gouging people. So this is a good thing. It's going to increase competition for insurance. It's going to lower the cost of ownership too in the long run.
So there was one change with the solar.
That's right.
So they got rid of the $1,500 fee to have it removed from your home, at least through the end of September. Maybe they'll extend it. That's really amazing, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like no risk.
Yeah.
Right? If for some reason you're not making more from the panels than what you would be paying to offset the energy costs, you'd be like, oh, take them off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I hope they expand that to other states. It's only in California right now, right? Have you looked, Tony, at the Tesla Solar for Ohio?
I haven't. I have not looked at it. I wouldn't go with them anyway, but I probably should just to know how it works.
Because they changed their pricing a few months back.
State of Ohio is.
And I kept looking for Michigan for my parents, and they didn't offer it there. But now
there are no Ohio incentives for anything. So
yeah, that's the problem. Is that Ohio has 0 incentives.
There are in Chicago, in Illinois, but there's none in.
Your utility company doesn't offer anything.
Nope. Duke Energy says, you can pay them extra to give you a higher percentage of renewables. But you never know if they're actually making good on it, right? It's all just contractual.
Yeah.
So.
But the Tesla site's kind of nice. It'll give you the estimate of how much would be generated, and you could calculate a payback based on that. NREL has a really useful piece of software on their site that like calculates everything. It's cool.
Yeah.
You just type in your address and it'll model everything.
Yeah, someday. I don't think I'll ever get solar in Canton, but maybe.
Well, Ohio's not the greatest place to do it.
No, I think, honestly, geothermal would be better in my backyard.
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm gonna do a DIY system.
Well, the payback's pretty quick for something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see what else happened. Oh, Model 3
Australia
is in Australia.
Yeah, very exciting. So many memes with the car slipped upside down. It's just hilarious. I was slapping my knee all week.
In the front.
Have we had any Joeys in the front yet?
They should have front Joeys.
Oh, they should register that quick. Front Puppy should get on that.
Front, yeah.
I finally took a picture of Lola in the front, if you guys missed it.
Good job. I finally DM'd with Frunk Puppy, who are also Ohioans. They're in Dayton, the Frunk Puppy crew. So.
Oh, really?
You'll have to at some point.
Yeah, you should interview them or something.
We should.
I don't know about what.
They're great.
About Frunks.
About Frunk Puppies.
Yeah. You kind of hinted on at this other news. The Model S Nuremberg trials.
Yes, the Nuremberg trials.
Nürburgring. I don't know.
I guess somebody never played Gran Turismo.
I played Gran Turismo. I played Forza. Guess what? I still can't pronounce it.
Oh, I'm just saying I straight up will not say it correctly.
So did you see the tweet with Elon, the 2016 F1 world champion, said he'd drive the car?
Yeah, I did. I saw the tweet just in the last 24 hours.
But then it's not going to be timed.
Wait, what?
There's going to be other.
How are you the fastest if it's not timed?
Well, there's other cars on the track at the same time. It's like an open thing for manufacturers to test vehicles.
But I thought that the Taycan just took some record.
No, they did.
They
have an
rented-
exclusive time. They rented
rented-
the time.
They rented the space out for it.
Now it's
What
possible.
does it cost? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I'm sure you. If they paid enough money, they could get someone else's time.
This is just another example of the
But the thing is,
automaker 1% able to get special treatment.
Be on the Nürburgring next week. He's not wrong.
Yeah,
He's going to be there.
Yeah,
He never said we're going to race it to see if it'll beat the Taycan.
I saw a CNBC article.
It's going to be.
I saw.
Everybody went ape. Yeah.
They were trying to imply that Elon was lying because everyone is desperately
Well, Road
trying
and
to
Track said they were lying and that
Yeah.
that Tesla can't get the time. Like, and then they changed the story and they're like, oh yeah, they're going to be there. Never mind. Like, what the?
Yeah, so that was
Great.
that was weird as shit. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the Model S is not designed for the track. So
It's
who
not
really cares?
a
But
freaking race car. It's a freaking sedan.
I would like to see how far it can go with the new motor and new battery pack and everything. It can probably do much better than people think it would.
But it's just silly. If you're making $180,000 car and you're like gonna compare it to this sedan.
Well, yeah. I mean, eventually the Roadster is similar in price, especially once you add basic options to the Porsche.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let the Roadster go to Nürburgring. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
You know, once they make one or two.
I mean, maybe Tesla will get motivated to make some kind of track pack option for the Model S, maybe. But honestly, what percentage of people go to the track?
Yeah.
And going to a track is not good for the environment. It's just wasting energy. I mean, maybe
I'm going to go to the track with my Roadster.
Well, you should. I mean, we're all going to die anyway.
I just want to go.
Too late.
The only reason I bought
expedite it.
I bought that car for two reasons.
Wow.
I bought that car for two reasons. We are going. I bought the car for two reasons. The range, and I want to go 200 miles an hour.
Experience? Or are you going to do it regularly? I guess you have to see what.
No, I want to go to a proper airstrip or track and go 200 miles an hour. I don't want to be on the highway going 200 miles an hour.
Well, did you see that? Some car went over 300 miles. What was it? Did you see that in the news?
Yes. What did go over 300 miles an hour? 304.
Bugatti,
right?
something, Veyron.
Yeah, the new Bugatti. That's right.
Anyway, I had always thought that they might try to make the Roadster go 300 miles an hour just as like a goal.
As a marketing.
They never said that, but I kind of, because they said what, 250 plus or something.
It wasn't the Veyron. It's the Bugatti Chiron.
Yeah.
It broke 300
Anyway,
miles.
I forget how they marketed it, the Roadster. Was it 250 plus?
Yeah.
And I kind of assumed maybe they're going to try to stretch it to 300 just so they can say that. But maybe
I hope so.
Years, I don't know.
Or maybe the SpaceX package will go through.
Oh yeah, well that could do it easily, right?
Yeah. Got freaking rockets
attached
to it. I just want
to. You
know.
don't need gears for rockets shooting out of the back.
Tony, do you think that I'm gonna get rockets on my Founders Edition, or do you think I'm gonna have to pay more for it?
I think Elon.
I don't think you're going to be able to get the rockets.
You don't think that's even gonna ship?
I don't. I just don't think it'll be available to consumers.
No, I think it will, but it might be restricted to tracks.
Maybe. How are you going to restrict that though?
You could geofence it to certain areas. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe.
They have all the map data for public roads. They could just say you can't use it on these.
That's true.
That's true. There's already 2 packages to hack your SX and 3s. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I was at this weekend. I was at the final DerbyCon in Louisville, Kentucky. The Midwest equivalent of, not really equivalent of DEF CON, because that's like a week-long thing with training, but there's training and it's 97 talks. It was a pretty cool event. I got to catch up with a lot of my bros from the security field. They had a car hacking area, but they were really focused on scan bus, older ICE cars, hacking ICE car, analog equipment.
Meh.
It was cool.
Yeah, but no.
There were a bunch of other Model 3 owners there.
Yeah.
You sold one, right?
I should have planned to meet up. Yeah, actually on our way there, my buddy pinged me and was like, I did it. I pulled the trigger and he started sending me pictures of a brand new white Model 3, short range plus.
Good.
I was very excited.
Nice.
I think he used Asif's code, so now we're even.
Do I get a notification when that happens?
Maybe not in Ohio.
No, you got to log into the app and look at the data.
Yeah.
Maybe,
will it only show once it's delivered? Maybe.
Yeah, I think it is when it's delivered.
But it was fun. Did a bunch of more test drives of all my hacker buddies.
Yeah.
They all got reds in the Model 3 and decided it was their next car, so that was good.
Excellent.
You're
doing well, Tony.
I was inspired by going to a HackerCon. I hadn't been to one in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I downloaded, who makes it? It is the Hendrix 23 is the publisher. He's got a GitHub account, and it's called Tesla_Dashcam. And this is a Python command line based video processing bunch of scripts essentially that have some certain flags, but you can basically just run the Python script. It's going to check to see if you've got Tesla dashcam footage plugged into your computer, and then it's going to process it all and add all 3 frames, the left, right, and center dash cam, all into the same footage. So I downloaded that. It was like worked seamlessly. There was no issues with it.
Stuff where it'll automatically upload everything for you and like delete the files and keep it all nice and clean. Automates everything. People have made software to do that.
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's some iPhone apps out there as well that do it. But this is free. This is an open source toolkit that the guy wrote.
Your car, and it'll automate, so you don't have to take the stick out or anything like that.
I don't think there's any such thing.
No, there is.
Is it using a wireless card?
Raspberry Pi. And there's
Oh, you're plugging a Raspberry Pi into the USB port.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm talking about open source software that is free that allows me to take the memory stick or card out.
There's software,
Yeah, you're
plug
talking
it in my laptop and post-process all the videos so that it makes it nice.
Does it even run on Mac?
It does.
Wow.
I ran it on my Mac.
That's cool.
That's
there's also a website.
Just Python scripts. Runs on anything that runs Python.
It's a miracle this video conferencing stuff runs on Mac.
It's 2019. Get it together.
Yeah.
Windows guy.
I'm just saying, iChat did this in frickin' 2000, and then they removed the feature.
That's
added it back in time. And
then they brought it back and were like, you can talk to more than one person at a time. It's a hot new feature.
Like, I saw Dr. Dre and Steve Jobs do that at like a frickin' Macworld keynote. Like on iChat. And
why did they make 2 different things again? Why didn't they just make iChat for iPhone or get rid of iChat immediately, replace it with FaceTime? Because for a while they had both.
Yeah.
It's like they were Google or something.
Yep.
Errors were made.
Google, have they created a new chat app to kill yet?
Google?
Oh, Meet. That's right. Meet. That's the new one.
Yeah, Meet is taking the place of Hangouts. I thought Hangouts was supposed to already be retired, and suddenly I'm getting Adam's messaging me. My buddy in California is sending me Hangout messages. I'm like, I thought this product was gone. No. I guess are they keeping it around longer?
Google forgot to just push the button to kill it.
It's like Google Buzz. Like it lasted an extra 6 months.
Yeah, it's annoying they're getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people love Hangouts. It is sad to see it go. But
I just use Gmail, so I don't love Hangouts. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's always been there.
Yep, it's going to be gone.
Mike's computer, that's like the easiest way to contact you guys.
Very convenient. And now it'll be gone.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just never talk again.
Nope.
There's clearly not any other way for us to communicate via text on just
True.
Hangouts. We left one little bit of news on the docket. Canadian Tesla owners will be happy to hear that the Supercharger network in Canada, the east to west, is under construction.
Yeah,
that's great because those people complain a lot because they want Tesla so bad,
and they don't want to drive to the United States. I can't blame them.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Cannot blame them.
Like the map on what is it, supercharge.info?
Yeah, supercharge.info.
A very large number under construction. It's cool to see that.
Wasn't it the Canadian Park Service, Adam? I think you posted. They also.
Yeah, so Tesla donated, I think, 50 destination chargers to the Canadian Park Service.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Go across the country, charge at national parks.
No, I remember in 2012, 2013, I guess 2013 when I got my car, my Model S, and I was actively, trying to sell cars at the Tesla store in Houston. The number one thing that they were complaining about was the lack of supercharger support in Texas. Yeah. So Texas was one of the last places in the U.S. to really get all of it.
Well, they're not allowed to sell cars there, so
yeah, that was another problem. But that as an owner that was trying to sell cars there, that was my biggest roadblock, was that there wasn't enough chargers. So I imagine in Canada, range anxiety is probably more of a real thing there because it's a very spread out country.
Yeah.
And like you wouldn't be able to drive.
It's cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would hurt range.
Yeah, it hurts range.
And they have mountain ranges.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of reasons why the cars are probably less efficient there. So a supercharger network is desperately needed in Canada. So I was happy to see that. That was pretty cool news. For Tesla owners in Canada.
Very exciting.
I don't know if we have any Tesla. We have several Model 3 owners in the chatty now, and several Model S owners. I don't know if any of them are in Canada though, because everything is
close to Canada,
so
they could travel up there.
There might as well be in Canada. I know that our managing editor at Shackney is Bill Lavoie. He lives in London, Ontario, Canada. He's interested in Teslas, very much so. I don't think he has a car right now, but if he did, he had mentioned that that's like the Y or the 3 is the kind of the car that a lot of people I know are looking at still. Do you have any updates about your car, Tony?
I do. So I took it, like I said, I took it on that road trip from Cincinnati to Louisville for the conference, and I had a really weird charging problem at a charging station. Okay. The only one in Louisville. I forget the name of the area where it was in. It's kind of northwest of downtown. But I charged for maybe 15 minutes, and then I got an error, unable to charge, check charging equipment. Yeah. So I returned to my car and checked it out, did the normal reboot, unplug it, plug it back in, and got the same error. And it actually said there was a problem with my vehicle. And I needed to take it to service. Ooh. I was like, what? Weird. This is not acceptable. I'm on a road trip. Yeah, never seen this error before. Yeah. So, unplugged the car. There were about 5 other people charging in the stations. So I moved my car to the far other end to just try a different spot. Pulled in and got the exact same error, and I was like, oh, this is a drag. I had enough range to get back home, maybe not to run Sentry mode when I would leave it 3 nights at the hotel, but I was like, oh, that's kind of a drag. So I actually looked up a nearby destination charger at a hotel, and I drove it there and charged it at the lower charge speed, and it charged completely fine. And since then, I've supercharged and it charged completely fine. So I don't know if it was some kind of weird power issue at that charging station. The other 4 people charging there didn't seem to have any issue. I was the only one. And I didn't sit there and troubleshoot it for a long time. I'm really just Unplugged, plugged back in, did a reboot, tried the same port again. It didn't work. Tried a different port, the same problem. So I just moved on.
You were at a specific charger, though. So maybe it was that charger that was malfunctioning.
Yeah, maybe change.
It's possible, but the other 5 people didn't seem to have an issue. They were sitting there. There were two 3s and 3 X's.
Did you go to other supercharger spots at that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I moved to the Bay at the end.
Okay.
To try a different one just to see, and it gave me the same problem. So I was like, maybe there isn't a service issue. But then when I went to the destination charger 2 minutes later, it was just down the road at a hotel. I charged it there for over 2 hours waiting for my buddy at the to pick him up at the airport. So there was no issue. And then I supercharged on the way home and there was no issue. So
did you go back?
I don't know if it was just a strange power thing at that station. What's that?
Did you go back to that same supercharger or were you at a different one?
I charged at the same one, actually. I charged at the same one and in the same bay that I first started charging at.
Oh, that's weird.
So I think it was some kind of strange power issue with the station.
Well, if we actually had any listeners and they listened this long, that's not going to be a Tesla Q story on Twitter, Tony. Nice job.
Well, see, I seriously doubt they would make it through a full episode of our show.
No one would. So.
Yeah.
Greg listened to it.
Really?
He listened to the whole episode. He said it was great.
That's awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah, there's people listening.
We're going to get super fans.
Mm-hmm.
We are?
Sure.
Super fans?
Stickers.
9to5 Elon the toaster.
You're
9to5 Elon the hoodie.
We can make Halloween masks with our faces.
There you go.
I'd buy one.
We're already marketing. Dozens of listeners. It's actually dozens. I counted.
It is. We've had dozens of listeners.
Yeah.
So thank you, dozens of listeners.
Friends listened
to one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't know. Maybe listen to more than one.
Mm-hmm.
I said he didn't have to.
I had coworkers that had listened to it.
Yeah, if you
so.
don't feel like you're required to.
No, I think there's people out there that actually enjoy this content.
Good. Do we have something else to talk about?
I think that's about it. I mean,
that's everything.
I don't have any news about my cars because they're not here.
What firmware do you have, Tony? Did you get 32.1? Or do you have
32?
I'll tell you right now. Maybe overnight I got it. Let's see.
32?
We're going to check it live.
I'm still running on
Do it live!
I'm running on 28.
I'm running 2831.
Okay, same.
Yeah,
because we're on the same. We're on the same.
I know.
check Teslafy and see. You think you guys are kind of
We're behind
living in the past?
Yeah, we're always behind.
We live in Ohio, dude. It's just
Ohio's like the last place to get updates. I don't know why.
So the latest.
It's regional.
The latest is 32.1.
We never get anything good.
36.
Hey, we got the Browns though. The Browns are playing in T-minus 3 hours.
38% of people are on the same firmware as you.
So we're going to the Super Bowl, right, Tony?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's exciting that the Browns are going to play a football game today.
Are we going to win the division?
That's all I'm saying. Nope. Nope. I'm not saying no predictions.
I'm going to give you a prediction since you're being all weird.
Clear eyes, full hearts.
The Browns are going to go 10-6.
Oh my god.
Which might win us the division.
Oh my gosh. You can't, don't do this. Don't.
They're going to go 10-6. And that might win us the division. That's all I'm saying.
You seem very confident.
Have you seen this team? This team,
No,
like,
I haven't.
This team reminds
He's like, no, I'm in Japan. They don't let me see the NFL here. It's too dangerous.
You know when the game's on here, Tony? 2 a.m.
Yeah, that too. The time difference is kind of a challenge.
Yeah, and Monday Night Football is Tuesday morning football in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one gives a crap about football here. But no, I'm excited about the Browns. I think they're gonna be fun to watch.
It's gonna be fun.
I only do
tickets.
No, God no. Why? So I could sit in Japan for the first 4 games and not go? I'm always here.
True.
I'm always here at the beginning of the football season, so like I can't.
That's very true.
I wasn't a Cavs season ticket holder. I wasn't an Indian season ticket holder. I just
go
I
to
just-
the game.
Yeah, if I know I can go to a game, I just go on StubHub and
Yeah, it's hard. You miss out on a lot, and then it makes it frustrating. So it's better to do it the way you're doing it. I like your approach, Asif.
yeah, you end up having to go on StubHub and sell your tickets if you're a season ticket holder, and that's
Becomes a
pain in the butt.
becomes a big hassle.
Exactly. Like I need more work. I freaking started a podcast that we have to do on Sunday mornings in Ohio. Like, I have to edit this.
This was a very foolish choice.
Seriously, you guys were like, "Oh, yeah,
I mean, you can see Sarah's not even here.
Star
I
was
was like, Sarah, it's cool. We're on. We're doing the podcast. She just looked at me and said, no.
I can either move
She wasn't having
or
it?
we can remove.
Said no.
no,
Said no.
we need you on the podcast."
Like, Sarah, we've got listeners. We have viewers. We got to give these people what they want.
Perspective.
Yeah,
It's useful.
This is what she said. No,
that's
not today. Not today. You can't give me 5 minutes notice for the podcast. I was like, well, why weren't you just up at 5 a.m. with me? And then we both would have had the notification that we're doing the podcast. Would have been fine.
You knew it was going to be within 24 hours. So she should have just cleared her schedule for 24 hours.
yeah. We all
Oh, no.
do it
I
happen
think she,
within 24 hours. She's
she's
coming.
actually calling my name right now, so I got to go.
Oh, geez.
Perfect timing.
Okay, well, that's the end of the show then.
Yeah.
It's an okay show. Not
Yeah.
the best, but
We
It
can,
was great. You guys are in Japan. I'm in Ohio. We went to a HackerCon. There's a lot going on. It's very exciting.
fine.
yeah, we'll be back.
Maybe.
Oh crap! I guess not, because we're in Tokyo on Sunday. Maybe Sunday night in Tokyo.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Or
Oh, I did also. I wanted to say that I lost a rap battle to my buddy Nate, and I believe he won a brand new Raspberry Pi that I could have won.
Damn.
So I need Blake to teach me how to rap better.
yeah, because
No.
I've never heard you rap.
Tony, do you
I
actually
feel like Blake.
on Monday mornings or?
What is that supposed to mean? I work every day.
But like
Yeah, but out of the home, right?
No, I gotta go in.
in the
At a
morning.
certain time.
Yeah, I got, I got, some side hustles I gotta
Yeah.
do.
You got some belts you need.
I
to
was
do.
just wondering if
Gotta sling some belts. I gotta
you Monday
sling some security consulting.
mornings- yeah. Good.
Okay. So
All right. Good to see you all. Keep enjoying your trip in Japan.
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, subscribe to our channel. It's Shack News Games on YouTube. So you can listen to us on audio podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, right?
Yeah.
Tony, you can follow Tony and Sarah, who's not here, on at Tesla Fudge on Twitter and Instagram. Adam is at @long_Elon on Twitter, and I'm at TechnoSucks on Twitter. You can follow Shack News at Shack News on Twitter. And
Also, Tesla Fudge on YouTube.
oh yeah, that's right. Tesla.
Like, subscribe, comment, and hit that bell.
Drive quickly.
Yeah, and then just don't post threads about him driving.
No, you can post whatever you want. It's just,
It
I wanted to be welcomed more lovingly by the Shack community, and I wasn't, so I was just real hurt about it.
I wanted to be welcome.
You're-
Oh man, you need to look up Vikram will rock, all one word.
Okay.
Just look at that thread, and you'll feel better about how they treat you.
Okay.
But yeah, he was hilarious. He called the site a website of cock. So that's all. That's all. Go to shacknews.com, read about more things. I'm probably going to write an article about that Tesla truck reveal. That's pretty dope. And that's all. So good night and good morning, because we're in Japan. Tony's in Ohio.
Night, and good luck.
Bye.
Bye bye.